show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today we have to talk about it. The reports are in the first 100 days of this administration, or is it after the first quarter? But no, it's after 100 days. And GDP numbers are, it's gonna be a slowdown. That means they are expecting, with all the chaos around the world with financial markets, that GDP will be less. The economy is predicted to shrink, as we talked about here. Isolationism never works. So therefore, we already knew this was going to happen. This is why you guys here in the SSN Nation are going to be prepared. Economic slowdown means opportunities, ladies and gentlemen. Are you with me? And welcome. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, comment section is open. It's free to attend. It's also free to subscribe to the channel and click the all notification bell. It's also free to listen to whatever I am discussing this evening. And you might want to pay attention to the comment section and get your pens, pads, and papers ready. Make sure you share the video so the rest of the world can know what's going on so they too can be prepared. Now, let's see what we have to talk about tonight. Let's go into this. It's Wednesday night. Friday night, it's going to be salsa day because there will be dividends that are going to be distributed. That's the first key to the opportunities. Slow down also means that you have to think about building wealth. This will be the last time, in my opinion, because 80 to 85% of the population will be wiped out, meaning living paycheck to paycheck by the end of this year. By the time 2026 gets underway as well. So over the next year, there's going to be accumulation. 80 to 85% of the population will be living paycheck to paycheck and will be approaching 85 in about 1 year and 8 months. Critical breaking point. All right, let me see who's in the house tonight. EV Place, another investor's in the house. Thank you so much for being here on this SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. EV Place, welcome. And let me see what his tagline is. Good evening, everyone. Button smashed. I appreciate that. He gave it a one piece. I appreciate it greatly because that way the YouTube gods know that we are here in the house. Now, you guys always understand I try to keep you ahead of the curve, not just by a day or two or weeks. You guys are ahead of the curve by years. So in this case, everything we've been talking about so far this year is what you should be thinking about, at least contemplating what you need to do if your disposable income is somehow disappeared. If it disappears, that means you are going to be in trouble. So let's start off with the number one thing, because I'm going to have to do something here with the live stream while I'm talking. First things first. At this point in time, you will have to go with reducing your credit, meaning the debt on your credit. That's number one right there. All right. How do we help you? As always, we have solutions to the problem. First things first. It's very simple. You have to just reduce your debt. Whatever debt levels you have right now, reduce it under 10% if possible. But don't worry, we're not talking about next week, next month, 6 months, 8 months, 10 months from now. We're talking about a year and a half. You have to do this. Mandatory. Can you get some help? Yes, you can. I'll have to put some of that help down below in the description box, because if you need debt resolution, need it to be reduced, you can have it restructured without filing bankruptcy. Would you like that? Then, of course, you should pay attention, because we're going to be talking about Resolve Finance. And you can use this email, Tracy at Resolve Finance, TRACY at Resolve Finance, ResolveFinance.com. All right. Hit her up. She loves doing this. She loves helping people. She is part of the SSN Nation. So once again, I can't leave you guys hanging. You have to get this done. CVNY plus 6% from Monday and dividend on Friday. I love it. You know I love it. Are we talking about CVNY or CONY? Let me see. Oh, no, that's not by V. I'm not familiar with CVNY. So whatever that is, EV Place, thank you so much. Let people put it down. I'm not familiar with this. This is great. This is awesome, in fact. This is extremely plus 6 from Monday and a dividend on Friday. That is very nice. Carvana. That is interesting. I don't know why that would happen, because cars and a vending machine is very, very interesting. I always look at Carvana as cars and a vending machine. All right. Well, that is very, very interesting. I didn't know they gave out a dividend either. So I learned something new every day, and that's pretty good. I wonder what I'm going to have to look it up. All right. So what we'll do is, I should have put opportunities for you. Okay, economic slowdown means opportunities for you. That's going to be the title of this live stream. And first opportunity is stock market. The first one is reducing your debt. Obviously, you have to go over to Resolve Finance or go to email Tracy at Resolve Finance and make sure you get in touch with her. Let her know you're from SSN Nation, so that way you get the best deal. She already does the best work, because she loves doing this by helping people rearrange their debt so it's paid off. So in a year, year and a half, 2 years, you're back on track. Not 6 years, not 7 years, not 3 years, but 1 to 2 years, you can get back on track. That's what makes this very, very special for what she does. All right. So anybody out there, so other people are going to say things such as, I want to fix my credit. That's very nice. But I just want to let you know, fixing your credit means you're going to have to get to a 775 credit score in 1 year, 8 months. That's the timeline. And after tomorrow, it's going to be down to 1 year, 7 months, because tomorrow is May 1st. So I want to let you guys know that's what the deal is. Yield max, of course, on Friday. Dividends coming in. CVNY paid over 7% a month ago. Let me go see what he's talking about here. I'm not familiar. CVNY. I didn't even know. Oh, wait, what is this? CVNY. I don't. CVNY. That is, oh, man, they've added more. Man, these guys, Yomax is adding, I'll be damned. CVNY is, wow, $2.68 per share is coming out. Wow, that is crazy. CVNY stock is presently trading at, must be more than what, $30? It's 40. It's $40, and the dividend is going to be $2.60 or something just this month. This is insane. 2.68 divided by 41. I'll just exaggerate it. That's 6.5%, 7%. Just in 1 month, most people would take $2.68 for the year and be happy with 7% return. Well, not you here in the SSN Nation, of course. All right. And the stock price is at $40.47. This is incredible. Yomax ETF has gone berserk. They have so many different ETFs. I remember they just started out with like 9 or 10. Now there must be 30 of them. This is incredible. Well, I can't say anything bad, but people are winning. And I'm assuming they do every month payouts. I don't think they're every week, but that is incredible. Incredible. Well, thank you so much, EV Place, for mentioning this. CVNY paid over 7% a month ago. It's going to pay another 7% apparently, especially if you bought at less than $40. I mean, this is crazy right now. Let's see. Yes, 5 days ago, 39, 38. So yeah, you would be doing 7%. Even at 40.47, you might be doing 7%. 6.5 for sure. That is crazy. I think it's 2.68 divided by 40.47, which is the price today, $40.47. That's 6.6% in 1 month. And every month they're giving out a dividend. So if you can get 6% for 1 month, imagine getting 5 or 4 or 6 or 7 for 12 months. That would be crazy. That would be 80, 90% return on your money. Wow. What a great, great pickup. That's why you need your pen, pads, and papers ready, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's see. I gave you 4 picks on last stream with over 7% dividend. I must have missed them. CVNY wasn't it, but you, listen, you have to explain EV Plays. You said 7% dividend, and you know my response on 7% dividend. I'm thinking you're referring to 7% annual dividend. I remember you did say 7%. I thought you were referring to 7% annually, so I responded with the usual. Then, hell, you might as well also consider ET, Energy Transfer. That's ET as the stock symbol. I said, well, JEPI, JEPQ, because they're anywhere from 9% to 11%. So there was no biggie. You did not say it was 7% per month. That is a whole different category. That is the high risk, high rewards category that makes people wealthy in a shorter period of time. That is the equivalent of 12 years in 1 year. 84% is the equivalent of 7% per year for 12 years. You can get that one rate of return in 1 year. If they continue to give out this 6.6, 6.5, and you reinvest it, you can have damn near 7%. If they continue to hold this stock price, the 52-week low is $24.83. The 52-week high is $58.11. This is very interesting because it's right about in the middle currently. So, in economic slowdown, what does that mean? I don't know. Yomax ETFs only operate on option income trading, ladies and gentlemen. Option income trading. That's what they do. Okay. So option income trading means several things. One, they're doing stock market. They are doing the stock market. That does not mean they're buying Carvana stock. Although you would have to go look up CVNY at YieldMax ETF and find out if they own a small percentage of Carvana stock, or are they just trading the Carvana CVNY, which is their stock symbol, and trading Carvana CV, I think it's CVNA. I think that's, let me double check. CVNA is Carvana, right? I think you put it down too. Let's see. I think it's CVNA. Yeah, that's Carvana. Or are they doing option incomes for some Carvana, which I know they are? And are they buying some treasuries, which would give them 2 or 3? Well, if they do 10 years, that would be crazy. 40% annually, which is only what, 40 cents a month for bonds, but still that's 40 cents a month kicking in. So, hey, that's free money from bonds from them. So that's cool. So in theory, 40 cents a month could be coming just from bonds. And then the option trading, there could be, so there's opportunity here, it looks like. And I can't believe that they're giving that out. This is astonishing to me. Other is Morrow. And again, let's see if Morrow is the same as Mara. Is that what it is? Or is it the telecom? Mara. Yeah, it looks like Mara. YieldMax Mara option income. So it is Mara. Okay. That's giving out a nice little dividend as well. That's pretty sweet. So again, these are YieldMax ETFs. And I got to say, high risk, high rewards. That's all I can tell you. 39.50 is my average. Well, then that's 7% for you, for sure. Okay, I went through all 40. Good God, they have 40 now. 40 YieldMax and pick 4 with made biggest yield on their last session, 7%. But check Morrow over 8% last month. That is crazy. EV place, doing his due diligence. This is what you have to do if you want to be able to survive this economic slowdown that's going to be over the next 1 year, 8 months. You're going to have to do things like this. Now, one other thing before I forget, down below in the description box, in case you want to get in touch with Tracy at resolvefinance.com, I put her email address down below in the description box. I also did something else with, there's a video you can watch. I also have self credit strong, smart credit, National Credit Direct. I'm probably going to have to stop putting that down because I'm not doing much with them anymore. But I put those in the description box so you can actually use them. Smart Credit actually is a credit monitoring system. Credit Strong, no credit check, no qualifying. You can get yourself some trade lines added, installment trade lines, so you have an on-time payment history. Then you can work your way into a secured credit card. If your credit is bad, you can do that. Then you can get another a great reporting on your credit. So that's how you can build up your credit in a shorter time frame. It's that simple, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to need your credit in 1 year, 8 months, and you want to have a 775. Trust me. That's what you're going to aim for. That's what you have to aim for. If you fall short, you'll still be good. But 775, that's where you need to be. Post-retirement travel. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday Night Live Stream. And Mr. Worldwide's here. He brings his tagline. Hello, all. Let's do this. And that's what we do here. That's why you need your pen, pad, and paper. This is what we try to get everybody on board. Another investor, post-retirement travels in the house. And he's out there doing his thing. As we last left off on Monday, you were doing repairs at a rental location. How did those repairs go? Have they finished? How's it been going with that, man? Let people know, because this is the things that people rarely talk about because these are expenditures. I like talking about expenditures because you have to understand the cost of ownership, the cost of renting, the cost. There's always a cost for everything you do. That's the bottom line. when it comes to money, is it an opportunity cost that's lost? Or is it an investment opportunity that's lost? There's all kind of opportunities that are lost. And there's degrees. Let's put it plain and simple. If you need your trees to be removed, and a company comes up to you and says, well, those 3 trees, here's my quote. It's $12,000. This happened with me. $12,000. And I'm like, it costs that much to remove 3 trees in the yard? They're like, yeah, this is the going rate. I said, well, I guess I'm going to have to find out, because that is crazy. Another guy comes. This guy goes, yeah, it's about $8,000. I'm like, for 3 trees? I say the same thing. It's almost like I'm a parrot. You mean like for 3 trees? $8,000? Now, needless to say, I am not an expert on tree removal, nor do I know what it takes to remove trees, but I'm thinking $8,000 is a lot. So I call another person. Another person says, hold on, I'll be over. I actually do landscaping most of the time, but I do cut down trees with my crew as well. I'll be over in a couple of days. He comes over, does his thing, and he says, oh, that's only going to be around $5,000 to cut down the trees and remove them. The other guys were saying it's going to be extra charges to remove the trees. He says, I'll remove them. All for this $5,000, $5,500. That is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Opportunity cost of not finding out what the actual cost can be. Just by taking one person's word or 2 people's word, you would have been out anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000 or more. So that's why you have to think about everything you're doing right now, because you never know what's going to happen. Joe Nay, another real estate investor, is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Chilling, lounging in the Dominican Republic. Let us know how everything's going, man. I won't say your location, but how's everything going at the homestead there since you're doing the rental? What's it looking like? You've been there only about a week. Well, you've been there longer than that, but we'll just go. You've been there hanging for a week in the neighborhood. Let us know what your observations have been since you've been staying on that side of town. I would like to know. Good evening, everybody, is his tagline. How is everybody this evening? Everybody's doing great, man. Thank you so much for being here. And I am very, very happy to see you're here. So that's what we're talking about. EV Place says, new metal roof on old leaky shingles, $1,500 for materials, 36 by 24 garage. Oh, that's not, well, in this day and age, I guess that's not too bad, especially when people are talking about repairing roofs for freaking 50, 60, 80, 90 grand. I mean, it's off the charts. A metal roof, I'm not familiar with, but a metal roof I find very fascinating. And it's almost begs the question on why weren't homes built with just metal roofs to begin with, kind of thing, right? I can understand there may be flexibility issues at the corners where they meet and things like that. But for homes that were that old shotgun style where you just go up, come back down, and you make an L shape, I was like, it seems that a metal roof would last a long time, a very long time. I don't know what the time frame is, but I'm pretty sure it would last more than 15, 20 years, I would think. But then again, what do I know? 36 by 24 garage materials, that's not bad, I don't think. All right, there we go. Post-retirement travel says, yes, repairs came out beautiful. We love the contractor from Guatemala. We asked him to fix a few other things on the patio this week or next. Tenants will receive the rental increase this week. Well, they have to. You're doing improvements. And that's one of the things, post-retirement travel. I like that he's being fair with his tenants. Because here's the thing. This is what people have always asked. Well, I've always asked if I rent somewhere. They go, okay, we're going to increase the rent. So then I'm like, are you going to improve the place or something? I mean, something. Yeah, you're gonna come fix whatever the problems are around here, or so. I'm like, that's always a thing. So kudos to you for actually repairing the place, getting it all fixed up before you do rent increase. I love that. I love that. That's how all owners of property should be with their tenants. You shouldn't be telling them, I'm going to raise your rent, and you haven't done anything, and they still live there paying on time for a year or two or three, and you don't even want to fix up the place. That's crazy. Good move. I like it. Whether the tenants are moving out or new tenants are coming in, I still like it. Does not matter. You should always improve your property. That's number one. All right. Metal roof is louder, but it lasts longer. All right. Yeah, when it rains and things like that, I would imagine. All right. Shingles. Yeah, they're cheaper. A little cheaper, but more labor involved. Exactly. That's for sure. But if you're talking about regular old shingles, you're talking about 20 to 25 years. And most often things start breaking down somewhere between 18 years to 25 years. And some even last a little bit longer. But that's their lifespan, 20 to 25 years. And then if you get the clay or the concrete tiles, they may last 25 to 30 years or longer. So, or even up to 50 years, depending on what they're made of. So that's pretty cool too. So that's a lifetime, by the way. 25 years is a lifetime. 30 years is a lifetime. If you own the same house for 30 years, that's a long time. Jonay, I'm making it. I'm stationary, just walking around the neighborhood, working on getting to the dog acclimated. His size makes it a little harder, but it's all good. Contract is ready to be signed. Are you saying, wait, hold on. Are you saying you have delivery? Really? That would be awesome. On time. Metal, 40 years. Cool. Yeah, I didn't know the lifespan. I did a video on materials, and I don't think I covered metal at all because normally people, developers do not use metal. So that's one of the things right there. All right, let's go. Lots are being purchased in the area. Oh, I know. Ground clearing for other projects. I wonder how this place will look in 2 years. Joe Nay, that's gentrification section. Again, 5 years ago, in 2020, the guys out there where you are were saying, now remember, 5 years ago, they were saying, man, all kind of stuff is going to be over here. I was like, man, I don't want to have nothing to do with this section over here at the time because it was a lower end area. And you knew what happens in lower end areas. That's where the rich come in and buy up the property because it's less in value. So what you're saying right now is no surprise to me because they were able to buy up the land real cheap. Places like Christopher, Jardines, and a few others, they got out there early. Epic, all these guys, they got out there early because the property was so inexpensive. So it's going to be very, very interesting how this works out. But thank you so much, Joe Nay. This does not surprise me. And by the way, the property values are still probably going to be relatively inexpensive, but one day there will be a tipping point where everybody's going to go, oh, yes, I want to stay in this section of town if they do it right. That's the big question. Will they do it right? Because there's lots of things that need to be done there. Look who else, another investor is here. Tamara Larry. All right. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And we're talking about the Punta Cana Investors Forum, May 13th, 14th, and 15th. It's on, ladies and gentlemen. Tamara Larry and a few others are going to be in the house. Aha, I myself going back to DR, which I thought I was never going back. But we're going back, ladies and gentlemen, another investor business forum, and tickets are still on sale. ssnlifestyle.com, stopstrugglingnow.com. 2 weeks to go. That's right. So you still can get your tickets, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not yet. So go on over, get your tickets. It's 13th, 14th, and 15th. Of course, you guys know the routines. We're going to go see lawyers. That's a must because you never know what you want to do. If you want to start a business, you got to see a lawyer. If you want to open a business, you got to see a lawyer. If you want to buy a business, you got to see a lawyer. If you want to do immigrations, you got to see a lawyer. You should see a lawyer. All I'm saying is, ladies and gentlemen, if you buy property, you should see a lawyer to go over your contract. No matter what you do business-wise, you should have an attorney in the Dominican Republic. Do not go lacking because, quite frankly, even if you have an attorney, okay, you can still have legal troubles. But the problem is you want to make sure that your contract that you are agreeing to passes the attorney's test. So that way, these weak loopholes, you get to block them out. All right, tomorrow. Very nice to see you this evening. Thank you so much for being in the house. Post-retirement travel says, based on my experience, every time we raise the rent on our properties, tenants start reporting all kinds of issues. The raise is significant, $500. It may not be a big deal here in Florida, but it's in GA. Yeah, okay. I like what you just said, being candid. I like what you said. There's a something to be said about both ways. I will have to admit, when you do every time we raise the rent on our properties, tenants start reporting all kinds of issues. Exactly. So tenants, as long as you just collect their rent, they do whatever, they pay and they feel fair, they go okay. If you raise the rent just on today, you pay $1,000, but starting now you pay $1,400. Now they feel a little like, wait, I said again, they haven't done anything. What's happening? This is crazy. And by the way, I just been letting it slide. I fixed this, but I didn't report it. Instead of costing the landlord money, I fixed it. I did this, I did that. They just did this minor stuff that because they can fix it, didn't report it. But soon as you start doing, like he says, I would find this exactly what post-retirement travel saying. That has been neglected. The tenant's been living there. They've been fixing stuff, not really crying. Yeah, if you raise the rent $500, $400, $300, you best believe they're going to be calling. Anything at this point. If they stay, they're going to be like, okay, fine. I'm not touching nothing. If there's anything that needs repairing, I'm calling. I agree. It may not be a big deal here in Florida, but it's in Georgia. Yeah, I understand that. I too would be doing the same thing because I've been in situations where because I can repair things and I'm familiar with it, I fixed it. And then the landlord comes and starts acting silly. Then I'm like, okay, fine. Because something's going to break down. The older a property gets, the more problems are going to happen, especially from a tenant standpoint, because the owner doesn't live there, so they don't pay attention to minor things and fix it. The tenant will just ignore it or just, be like, okay, well, I'll get around to, calling or whatever until it's significant. So now what would have cost $250 to fix is going to cost $800 to fix. You see, those are the differences. So you always want your tenants happy, ladies and gentlemen. That's the goal. Yes, I already walked around the apartment. It's ready. Lawyers did a stand-up job. Already took the shuttle to the plaza. Jonay, they have a shuttle? Hold on, man. You're going to have to start talking about this place a little bit more because they're going under the radar. And the property values over there are cheap as hell. So talk to me about the amenities they have. Are you saying that they have a shuttle from this area, that property, to the shopping plaza? And if they do, how much is it? And also, does the shuttle go to like some amenities, like the adventure park, which is up the street that a lot of people don't know that's in that neighborhood? Does it take you to downtown Punta Cana as well? Does it take you to the beach? Let us know, man, because this would be significant. And does it cost? Does it cost? Is it free? HOA fees pay for this service, or is this public service? Let us know, man. That could be significant. I'm wondering, EV Play says, how they will supply all these new ACs in new unit. EV place. Are you talking about in where? By power usage. Ah, okay. All right. Yeah, I think you're talking about in the DR because they already have an electrical problem. I'm thinking, is that what you're referring to, EV place? Because that is my problem. The infrastructure is electrical and sewer. Those are the two things that I'm worried about. And never mind about roads and streets and all this upkeep. All that costs not hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars. So if we're talking about the DR, that is one of my little pet peeves. I don't know. I seriously don't know. They already have power outages all over the place. So I have no idea, man. No idea. Joe Nay, shipment delays have started on the East and West Coast. Exactly. Well, again, that's going to put a hurt on the economy. If you don't have products to sell, then that means your revenues are going to drop, your profits are going to drop. If you have shipping delays, that is lost money because that's part of lost opportunity. But is it really lost opportunity? See, this is where you have to think about what you can do. So now that corporations, major corporations, Amazons of the world, the Targets, the Walmarts, the retail shopping locations, they will not be able to get a hold of goods from around the world like they've been accustomed to. So there's going to be shortages. What does that mean? That means if you have a way to come up with products and services that people need, you start to become the go-to persons, the go-to business. How long will that last? I don't know, but people are going to have opportunities to blow up. Think about it. That's one of your ways of creating your niche in an economic slowdown. Yes, I mean DR. I agree with you, EV Place. I agree with you 120%. This is what I've been talking about now for the last 3-4 years. Infrastructure, no improvement. They've gone 5 years with no improvement on the infrastructure, and they're expecting to add on like another 4,000 or 5,000 places that's going to be hooked up with electricity, and they already have blackouts all over the place. I mean, the people that live in Las Terranas was telling me that they have no electricity for 2 or 3 days. Like that's normal during the month. I'm like, that's insane. Because right now in May, to me, is no picnic in the month of May in DR. So if you have to come in, you have to have AC. And especially in the summer months. I mean, starting now, May, June, July, August, and you have no AC anywhere because the electricity's off. So you got to run generators. And even then, how long is your generator going to run? I guess if you keep filling up with gas, but gas is freaking expensive by the liter. $3 a liter? That's crazy. That's insane. That is not good, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, that's one of the things. But see, once again, opportunity could knock in several different places, but I don't mean in DR though, because I'm thinking right now there could be a business niche for this power outage scenario that goes on in the DR. Because even when I stay in Bavaro or Los Corrales, the electricity goes out temporarily. I mean, it goes out, but not like a day or two. It's generally like a few hours because they're working on something or whatever. But when it's hot and and it's beating down and the humidity levels are up there, you don't want to be outside. I mean, it's pretty crazy. You want AC, and at nighttime when you're trying to go to sleep, and there is no air, no fan can blow, no air's blowing, no breeze, man, it's not good. It's not good. So just let that keep there. We're hoping they understand that the rent we've been charging for years has been way below the market, especially for our specific community and the square footage of the house. It also has a pool. Oh, damn. Well, I hope you're not paying the pool bill for the sweep. Damn near at late night when the sweeper has to go, and then you got to call the guy every week or every other week to come do your pool. That's getting hefty now. But yeah, see, that's the thing. If the people are going to still live in it, yeah, increasing 500 is a lot. I don't know what your normal rent is, but to me, that's a lot. If somebody's paying, let's call it 1,200 a month, and the next thing you know, it's 1,700. That's a lot. Instead of 13 or 14, that's a lot. Here we go. Jonay, I can't believe this. Shuttle is free and runs to the Bavaro Plaza. Clubhouse has a gym, pool, and ball court. There is also an amphitheater. The clubhouse will have a bar and restaurant. Are these already built right now? Because I'm going to actually come over there and check it out. If this is true, this would make this particular project a buy. If what you're saying, I can't believe this. Shuttle is free, runs to Bavaro Plaza. Clubhouse has a gym, pool, and ball court. That's all you need so far. Those are amenities. The amphitheater is very interesting. The clubhouse will have bar and restaurant. Oh, man. All this is where? Come on, Jonay. I might as well let everybody know. Are we talking about this Jardines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Are you serious right now? I can't. I'm in denial. The reason I'm in denial, ladies and gentlemen, is because these properties, like a 1-bedroom, Jonay, let people know how much a 1-bedroom would cost, and let them know how much a 2-bedroom costs at this complex. This is a bargain. This is a bargain. Don't start saying amphitheater. How many people are holding? Is it a real amphitheater? How many people? 200, 300, 500, 1,000? Clubhouse will have bar and restaurant. Oh no, I'm not buying this, man. I'm not buying this. This is awesome. How much are the HOAs? Shuttle will also be going to the beach once the project is completed, which looks like a couple more months. Wow. Yes, they're built. Everything will go online once the project is complete. Jardines 3. Yep, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. 1-bedroom. 2019, 2018, 2020 pricing. 1-bedroom, 79 grand. I knew it. And the 2-bedroom is like, isn't it 110 or something like that? Or I don't even know if it's 110, but I think it is. It's around 110, 105, something like that. There it is. 79,000 is a great deal for a 1-bedroom, and these are 50 square meters, I believe. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's a little gym, but okay, with all of this, this turns into amenities. This turns into, if it's truly going to be a free shuttle. Now, what's the HOAs is going to be the $1,000,000 question. If this turns into a free shuttle situation, that is a great opportunity. Jardines 4 is cheaper until people start purchasing. They're clearing the land. Exactly, Jonay. I know. That's why SSN Nation Punta Cana Investors Forum will be coming over. We have to go check this out. Well, first I'll be checking it out to make sure it's worthy to come over. But now we got to go check it out. I was going to come over anyhow, but now this may be a spot to go check because I didn't know they actually had these amenities already started just from Jardines 2 and 3. And 4 obviously is going to be up in about 2 years, I would imagine. HOA will be around $80 for me. Well, then that's inexpensive. That's inexpensive. All right. Well, now it looks like I'm going to have to go talk to these guys. I like these prices. These prices are right where we want to be. When economies slow down, this will be the time that you start thinking about real estate, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll get into a few things, but in the United States, we're talking about economies slow down. If economy slows down in the U.S., economies that the United States affects also slows down. So that's what we're talking about here. All right. That's exactly what we're talking about. So let me explain a few little caveats. So first things first, you should pay attention to land. because when there's a economy slows down, people try to off homes, which almost does them no good because then you're going to have to buy a home or figure out where you're going to put the money. You're going to have to live somewhere. So it kind of a catch-22. But people start selling homes because home values do not increase. So they panic and start selling. Also, people start selling land because it's just sitting there. And now they realize, oh, I'm not going to be developing this. And I'm sitting here paying taxes. And if there's HOAs for no reason. So land starts going down in value, which now gives you an opportunity to get some acres at cheap bargain prices. I wish I could remember that name of that one. I have to Google this. But hold on. I thought it was great. Oh, it's not Great Land. I want to put in Great Land, but that's not it. I'm doing it's all in Sacramento. I don't want land and farms. I don't want none of that. I want something else, but I can't find it. Governmentlandsales.us. Okay, fine. That's not what I'm looking for. It's not what I'm looking for. Okay. Okay, you guys already know I talk about discount lots. So discount lots, no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry because they have payment plans. So you can get acreage. You can get 10 acres, 5 acres, 20 acres. Some people even have more than 20 acres that they're selling where you can make monthly payments and control the land if you already have a plan. Now, if you buy land, you better have a plan. It can't just sit there. You got to have a reason to buy it and do something. Don't let it sit there. All right. So just keeping you in the loop on that. Tomorrow, Larry says, yes, we're going to the SSN Nation Punta Cana Investors Forum. That's right. Go get your tickets, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, come join us, Joe Nay. He says, this electricity is crazy. I told you, man. People thought I was exaggerating. I told you, you're running the AC unit in one room on the wall. It's insane. It's going to be literally, if you run it, okay, first of all, you better not leave your electricity on in the DR while you're gone. That's the first rule. Because if you think you're going to be leaving your AC on while you're out for 3, 4, 6 hours and then come back home and your AC's been on for the last 9 hours, 10 hours, your bill will be $10 per day. Guaranteed. Never mind when you're going to bed at night and you're saying, well, I can't take this heat either, and you have it on. You will be paying $20 a day. So this is why everybody has real estate in the DR and in high humidity areas. This is why people have fans. But even then, the fan, it's a give and take. But anyhow, he mentions it. This electricity is crazy. I run ceiling fans and turn on the AC just for a burst of cold air. Chone, welcome to the DR. Well, man, I know, man. I was there. May, I was like, I couldn't believe, to me, it was hot. In the month of April, at the end of April, May, June, I was like, oh, I can't take this anymore. And you have to be an AC environment. For me, I was like, I need dry fit and AC environment. So that is true. Now, keep in mind, you do short-term rentals. And in short-term rentals, oh, by the way, Joe Nate, since you're there, and speaking of electricity, do they have the electric meters that you can go pay your electric bill and add electricity onto your account? How far away is that? Is that going to be at Bavaro Plaza? let me know, because that's important too. I like that feature. I love that feature. But they do it on demand, ladies and gentlemen. It's not like here in America where they bill you and pay us 20 to 30 days later, whatever it is. These guys, you're paying as the people are there. So you give them the code, they go down and you add your money onto it. And if I'm doing short-term rentals in the DR, that's how I'm doing it. I'm not doing this pay me back later and all this. I'm like, no, you got to go down, buy some pesos, and you put money in the money machine and pay for your electricity. All right. There's good news and bad news, because if you don't pay, well, let's just say this, just put 10 or $20 in, right? Then figure out, because you can see the meter. You just go to CEPM, CEPM. Well, I don't know the website, but CEPM.com.do probably is it. But nonetheless, you go to their website, and once you have the account number, you just put in the account number and they'll tell you how much electricity usage you have left. So that way you'll get an idea how much it costs you per day. And generally it costs anywhere from $5 to $10 per day in seasons such as May, June, July, and August on a 1-bedroom. Never mind a 2-bedroom. And if you're running 2 of the units at the same time in the living room and a bedroom, or 2 bedrooms, 2 units is even more devastating. If you have 2 units on at the same time, then you could be looking at $20 a day. If you're trying to do 9, 10 hours, 12 hours a day. I know, ladies and gentlemen, it's more than in the United States easily. This is why I've been pushing for the DR to get more energy output, improve their infrastructure. Because who can live on literally bare bones minimum, a refrigerator and an AC running? That's it. And that's going to cost you $10 to $20 per day, potentially $600 a month just for a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom unit. Not a villa. I don't even know what a villa would cost. This is insane. But all I'm saying is you got to pay attention, ladies and gentlemen, of what's going on. This is why we talk. $80 HOA with free shuttle. That's cheap comparing to $3 in Macau. Exactly. I'll take the $80 HOA as long as, see, that's the whole point. This is what was supposed to happen at the beach. Now, I don't know what you're referring to about the $3 in Macau. Because are you saying Avalon or Juanillo Hills? No, not Hills. It is Juanillo Hills, isn't it? Because that's in Cap Cana is Juanillo Hills too. But anyhow, the projects in Macau, they were supposed to have a shuttle that goes to their beach club and to the beach. Are you trying to say, EV Place, that they're charging $3 for their shuttle? The beach downtown was supposed to have a free shuttle that took everybody to, what's the name of that one beach club? Pearl. They were originally, when the beach came out, which is in downtown, it was free shuttle to a beach club and all this, that, and the other. Then it turned into, Pearl's going to charge you a $35 or $30 consumption fee. So I was like, wait, you said it was included. Then it turned into, the shuttle, if we have one, it's going to cost. Then it just kept morphing into how it was going to cost people to use the shuttle. Then it was going to cost people to go to the beach club. All this when it was supposed to be free, and the HOAs were supposed to be $2 per square meter. And it turns into, it's $2 per square meter. But the thing is, they said now it's $1 and something for your terrace. I was like, what? Balcony. So it actually costs you more than $2 per square meter. It's crazy. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. So this is great. I like to hear this. No, you can't run the AC all day like in US. I see people moving in every day. Oh man, I know they're going to be moving in. Yeah. Yeah, I know they're going to be moving in. It's cheap, but again, I warn everybody in the Dominican Republic, especially outsiders, Canadians, Americans, people from the EU zone, do not run your AC like you think you can normally, because you will be paying $1,000 per month. It's no joke. It's no joke. Even if you have a one bedroom, you could be paying like $600 a month if you don't watch yourself. What I mean by that is if you happen to have a one bedroom and a person stayed home, there's no way they can stay home without cutting on the AC or go to bed without cutting on the AC. It's almost nearly impossible, even with the windows open. But if you have the AC, you have to close the windows. Either way, you're not going to get what you need. Discomfort is the thing. And I'm like, man, I don't want to be uncomfortable. So good for me when we're there. It's just a thing about, out and about. So it's really no worry. Gone for like 8, 9, 10 hours and 12 hours. So you're really not even home to use the AC. But if I lived there, oh my God, I wouldn't be out every day. I would be chilling most of the time. And it's going to be very hard, especially in the month of May is when it starts. That's when it starts getting like last year, after about the first week, it got crazy. After around May 10th, now going to be there again the second week, it starts getting crazy. The air doesn't move. It felt like air doesn't move. So you open the windows at night, no air is flowing. It's just heat, sweating. It's like, oh no, hit the AC in one room. Never mind if you have two bedrooms, you'd have to do 2 rooms. So your bill's going to be $20 a day. Guarantee you. That's $600 a month if you lived it on a 1 bedroom. And if somebody had a sofa sleeper and was sleeping in that other room, but a 2 bedroom, I could see $600 a month easily. Condo, not villa, condo. Yeah, no, you were not exaggerating. Sepim is getting rich. You ain't lying. And they actually try to block solar panels. That's what's so funny about it. The government is helping Sepin block people getting solar panels, which would make perfectly good sense. Hell yeah, if you have a villa, you have condos, and you're trying to put solar on your patio or solar on your terrace and do all this stuff, you would be like, yeah, I got to do this. Can you imagine Sepin? Here's what Sepin did to some people in DR. Sepin. A person says they disconnect from the grid, meaning they shut off their control panel. There's nothing. They can run on solar. Sepin sends people what their normal bill amount, their average bill amount, saying, pay us. Can you believe this? The cojones on these guys. It's insane. And the government is backing that BS. I mean, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, here we go. Joe Nay, he says you can pay on your phone or go to the plaza. I didn't know you could pay on your phone. Pay to play like POTUS. Man, stop. Joe Nay, don't get me started. Don't get me started. My electricity went off already, which was too much pressure on me. I keep it my electricity kilowatt up to par. I know, man. I know. I can only imagine. Pressure on my heart. I know what happened, Joe Nay. I know it happened to me too. It happened to us when we were there. I know. I'm thinking no big deal, right? The guys go, because what happened the very first time when we got our first place, they already had the electricity on and they just said, okay, well, in like 1 or 2 days, you may want to go down to the place to, recharge. And I was like, recharge? Because the first time I stayed there, we didn't do recharge. The people just said, hey, man, I'm going to charge you it was something minimal, like $10 a day or something. So I thought that was reasonable. All right, we're only going to be here 5, 6 days. So, okay, no biggie, 50, 60 bucks, whatever. Little did I know the next time the people said, oh, well, we only kept on, you have electricity for probably about, half a day or whatever. But just so when you come in, there's AC and you'll be comfortable. And then you got to go charge. So when I went to charge and I put in I was thinking like before. So I put in like 30 bucks. I was like, all right, let's see how long this lasts. Hit the AC, didn't think nothing of it. But doing the American way, I did. We left the AC on for like 3, 4, 5 hours during the day while we were up the street hanging out. Because, you just leave and forgot to cut it off. So then nighttime is warm. Cut it on. Pretty much 12, 11 till 7, 8 in the morning. Okay. Then I get up. Now I know how to read the meter. And the thing said something like $5 left. I was like, are you kidding me, right? How did this happen? And from that point on, that's when I knew electricity was expensive. Because it was like one day spent $25 and I didn't know what happened. I was like, wait, we only had one thing on, 16 hours a day maybe. I was like, oh no. And from that point on, every time you leave the room, everything's off. Poof, 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 everything's off. Come back, hit the fan. And if you can run the fan without running AC, whew, that's going to save you a lot of money. You need a fan. Oh, that's another thing. If you're going to do real estate investing in the DR, you better have a fan in every room. Every room. Living room, bedrooms. Every room. Bathrooms, unfortunately, actually, that's another my pet peeve. You should always have it. It doesn't matter about DR. You should have a fan, and a fan that goes out, a blower, a fan for foul smells. That's one of my pet peeves that a lot of places don't do. Try and get that in your unit as well. I keep the other 2 AC power breakers in the off position. That's funny. I like it, Jonay. Jonay's getting acclimated. He understands the assignment. Eric, isn't the electricity added to the Airbnb price? No. No. You said you were paying separately. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so everybody, well, there's a few owners that do it different. So, like I said, the first time I went, the owner says, okay, give me like $30. And I just, yeah, added it into the Airbnb thing. So, okay, fine. Then when we got there, it went past the 30. That's when on like day 3 or 2, get a message saying, hey, you're you've already used your 30. And I was like, what the frick? I mean, that's basically what happened. I can't really remember because it was a minor thing. I mean, I knew I was going to pay electricity, but I didn't realize how much it was the first time. Then after that, that was the only time. After that, I've always used the SEPN and I paid them. Went down to the machine, added it. And then I found out last time of all places after 5 years, 4 years, last time, 5 or 6 years, this is the last, I found out I went down to where you do your exchange. I couldn't believe it. I walked in and all this time I've been going to the machine, I could pay it at the exchange office. I was like, what the? I never had to go in and get change and put money in. I could have just came here and gave you guys money. And they were like, yeah. I said, people don't even know this. No, I only heard from some local, the Dominican said, when I was having problems with the machine, he goes, why are you messing with the machine? You can go over here to the exchange office. I was like, exchange office? Okay, I go in there. Can I pay here the SEPN? Gave her the SEPN number, gave her $20. Done. Yeah. No, you just what you do is you use the SEPN. And this is normal, by the way. A lot of the owners now tell people to go pay themselves, so they don't want to have any responsibility. They don't want to have zero responsibility for energy costs, and I can't blame them. There's no way to monitor it. Everybody's different, so let the tenant pay. If you want to be nice, add on like $5, so when they arrive, that they have juice for half a day or something. But that's what I would do. Recommend, have $5 in there or $10 in there, whatever. So then people have usage, and then they're just let them know you got to go down and add some money on there, and let them know. SEPN, go to cepm.com.do. I don't know if that's the email. I mean, the website, but it's probably that. And then you can actually, they can check it. And now Joe Nay said something. He said you can pay online. I don't know how you do that. I didn't think they had electronic online payment. Can you pay with a credit card or something? I didn't know that. But yeah, it's whatever you put in. So like when you stay in a one bedroom, my thing is it could be anywhere from $5 to $10 a day being conservative. That is when you're a tourist. So what tourists do, you wake up, you go get something to eat, so you're not in the room, right? You have the electricity off. After you go get something to eat, you might be walking around, going to do things. So you might be out all day. As a tourist, you're going to be out all day. And then you'll be there for a couple of hours and like, oh, let's go to the evening time. Let's go do something, right? So you're shutting everything off. So you literally don't have anything on until late night after you come back from maybe drinking, going to a bar, listen to music. It's 11 at night. You come back. So your time frame. Now, if you live there, like how Joe Nay's doing it now, where he lives there, he's not going to be gone a lot of hours during the day and then well into the evening. So now what's going to happen? Obviously, for me, energy bill would increase. And I know it's going to cost me $10 per day, probably. It's going to be $7 to $10 per day. I know for a fact. In a one bedroom, not even a two bedroom, like I said. If it's a two bedroom, I'm pretty sure we're going to cross into the 10, 12, $15 per day if there's another person using that other bedroom. I'm pretty sure. And that is a lot of money. That's $450 a week. I mean, a month. And that's not even a house. That's not even a villa. So that's serious. Here we are. Avalon is saying $3 HOA per square meter. Free shuttle. Okay, so they still have the free shuttle, but they added an extra dollar, which I knew that could not be maintained. I was expecting all HOAs, they touted this $2, but it's going to be $3, $3.50, I'm pretty sure, after it's all said and done. Let's go. He's saying, I missed something here. He's saying, you can have high efficiency split units that consume very little. I don't know. I haven't seen those high efficiency units in any of the locations. And that may have to be with most people have the single unit that needs Freon every now and then, apparently. I just found that out. So it's not working on a swamp cooler vibe. It's actually working on Freon. I didn't realize that till one place I stayed in, it wouldn't put the cold air out. So then all of a sudden, some guys, they said, yeah, I'm going to send some guys over. I was like, okay, well, I don't know what that meant. Then next thing I know, the guys come over, they start undoing the AC unit and talking about Freon. I was like, oh, okay. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know about the high efficiency split units. I haven't seen that, or I don't know what that actually is, shall I say. I think of splits as in a split. Let me go see what you mean. High efficiency split AC unit. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Oh, okay. Well, those are like regular AC units. Kind of. $2,000, $6,000. It depends. Okay, yeah, and then if you start using your Sears, but you need something else with Mr. Cool at $2,600 Versa Pro. So that must be what you're referring to, but I don't know about how that works on our electrical in the DR, because I'm telling you, those guys, man, SEPN, the price is off the charts. I mean, it's crazy. I'm telling you. I don't know if that's going to help. Post-retirement travel, I'm staying in a long-term rental and I have to pay for the electricity. No problem now once I know how to work it. Exactly, Joe Nay. Exactly. That's what it ends up being. You have to go by your lifestyle. So that's why when I'm there, I already know now the lifestyle, but it took an adjustment the first like 3, 4 days because I was monitoring what was going on and I'm sitting there in disbelief, like, man, I just gone for like 3 hours. Look what happened. Must have left the AC on because you can see it's just draining away. Like, my God, it doesn't show a meter or anything, but you can look and it'll say X amount of kilowatts. Like, I'll give an example. It would say, like, let's call it 1,000 kilowatts. Then you look and you're like 600, but you've been gone for 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. Then you know you left the AC on. I can tell you right now. That's what it looks like. It's like, what the frick's going on? But that gives you an idea of what happened. And so once you have to dial it in, it takes a minute to dial it in. And then you do what Joe Nay did. He says, I cut off the whole electrical for these other rooms or whatever. So that'll never be used. So that's another way to change it properly. But again, normally for me, we just had a 1-bedroom. Last time had a 3-bedroom. But again, it doesn't matter if it's a 1, 2, or 3. It matters how many AC units are running. That's what matters. If there is nothing running and the other 2 bedrooms are not in use and the AC's off, then that doesn't matter because we had a 3-bedroom. So we just ran the one that went to the living room, bedroom, combo thing, and so that was fine. But if we would have had on the other 2 or the second one and the third one, oh yeah, that's $20 a day. Easily $20 to $30 a day. It wouldn't have been funny. How about AC with few solar panels and inverter and batteries set up can pay back quickly, cool from the sun? Well, that's just it, EV Place. That works in United States and DR. If you have a condo, that may not work because I don't think they're going to let you put on AC solar panels. Even I don't think they're going to let you put solar panels on your patio or balcony area either. So the only people I think could get away with solar panels and inverter setup would be people that own penthouse units. I would think on their terrace that would be allowed. Maybe not though, because remember, HOA owns the outside of the building, so they might have restrictions. But I would still check because if you can get any solar panel help, I would highly recommend it in the DR. Highly recommend. Oh, I see. You haven't received the first bill then. Where are you staying? El Cordecito area? Yeah, always. Los Corrales, El Cordecito area, man. Because there's no other place that's built up. Really. I mean, that's designed for tourism. Because everything's within 5 minutes. The beach, the bars, the restaurants, the music, the entertainment, it's all within 5 minutes. Or less to walk to. You don't need a vehicle. You don't need the Uber. You don't need a ride. It's all right there. It's a hell of a way in and out. Yeah, it's going to be worse when they build Atlanta that gets built in River Island in about 3 years. Then there's going to add I don't know, 500 more people, maybe 600 more people. I mean, per day, that's going to need to get in and out of that section. That's going to be crazy. You could be adding thousands of people, quite frankly, because the project holds thousands of people. Just that one project. Never mind like Oceana, that's going to be built there. Ocean Bay, that's going to be built there. Maple Beach, that's building their second phase. You could be adding thousands, and never mind the ones in the back where the blue guys, blue developers are building. I mean, there's thousands of units coming online in the next 12 months. But yeah, there's no bill. Post-retirement travel, you pay on demand. They don't do billing. Just letting you know. I mean, okay, I shouldn't say they don't do billing. if you live there and you're, I guess, do credit, and they might give some people credit, but for the most part, it's pay on demand. So you can put in like $300, so however long that takes you, but you don't get to do what we do here in America. You don't get to, if your bill isn't paid, your electricity's off. So if you have no money, if you are living paycheck to paycheck and you used all your money and SEPN is your energy provider, if you hit zero, the likelihood of your electricity being turned off is damn near 100%. So therefore, you will be ass out. Ass out. Now, I want to know about Joe Nay, though. He said that he can pay online. I didn't know you could do a credit card payment or credit card payment online. That's interesting because that would have saved me a trip going down there to because here, I'll tell you one story. I didn't pay attention to the SEPN one day. And I knew I was going to have to go down and add some electricity that day. So, of course, eat, drink, music, and you don't even think nothing about it. Instead of going to SEPN anytime during the day at any one of the places to go make payment, I forgot. So now go to bed, and about 6, 7 in the morning, it's hot. I'm starting to sweat, right? Next thing I know, the fan is off. And that's when it dawns on me. I'm like, oh, I forgot to go pay SEPN. So I had to go down. I went to go down at 7:30 in the morning to go and hit the machine, add some money to it to cut back the electricity on. It was funny as hell. But nonetheless, uh, that's what you do. Post-retirement travel. I haven't opened up an account yet. Let's see. Yet I have the account number from the owners, and I just add like 2,000 pesos every 7 days just to keep the account fat. Exactly. If you live there, that's exactly what I would do too. I would just add it up. What I normally do, just so everybody knows, I'd only add like $20. That's it. Because I know it's generally going to last me 4 days. So, and worst case scenario is it lasts me 3 days. So I add another $5 to $10. But yeah, once you understand what you're doing, then it's easy. Because if I lived there, then I would do what Joe Nay's doing. I would just be like, okay, I better add enough for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then I'll just monitor. I'll know after about 2 weeks, I'll be like, okay, I got to go check, see what we're doing here. Because I already set it up. I know what the lifestyle is. But that's what I would do too. Joe Nay, he says, I can't handle electricity getting cut off. I know, man. I know. If you live there, I don't blame you. But yeah, that day, man, I was like waking up like, man, why is it hot? Why am I sweating? What's going on? And then I was like, why isn't the fan on? What's happening? I was thinking it's a blackout because that happens a lot. The electricity's just off. So I'm thinking, oh man, maybe they turned the electricity off. But no, I hear other people's fans going or their AC going. I'm like, oh man, let me go down here at 7:30 in the morning. I was like, there's no way. It wasn't hot out though, luckily. It was nice. It was like 80 to 85 degrees or something. It wasn't bad, 80 degrees, whatever. So that was good. But if that would have happened in the middle of the day, I was taking a nap, oh, that would have been bad. That would have been bad very quickly because inside the house would have been like 100. It would have been bad. So got lucky that way. Joe Nay, post-retirement travel. Jardines 3 is in Calais, Edgar Allan Poe in the Pueblo Bavaro area. Okay, I have to be fully, I'm transparent. I always told you, it's basically a lower end type area at the moment. But 5 years ago, they already knew that this was already going to be changed. So Christopher, like he says, he mentions it here. Christopher's down there, Epic's around there. It's in between Christopher Apartments and another set of apartments that were just built. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And there's supposed to be like another three, which I guess is probably Jardines, because they told me in 2020, 2021 that there was going to be 3 or 4 more. So I'm assuming the three would be the second one in between that you're talking about. And so Jardines must have been one of the projects. And there must be another one that's supposed to be out there. That's what they said. I'm excited about Jardines, man. I might have to go check them out now. I'm glad to hear this. This is great news, especially since they have a free shuttle. They have a clubhouse. They're going to have a bar. They're going to have a restaurant. This is great. This is great news, man. And the prices are still 2018, 2019, 2020 pricing. I'm down. I'm down with that. All right. Oh, and by the way, post-retirement travel. Yeah, there's no bills, man. You pay on demand. Post-retirement travel at Joe Nay. How big is the place again? A 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 2,000 pesos. That's about $116 times 4. That's 466. Damn. No, I think he has like a 3. He must have a 3 bedroom because he said he shut off the other 2 bedrooms. So he might, but he only he's not using the other 2 bedrooms though. So keep that in mind. But anyhow, let's see. Let me go to this. How big is the place again? A 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 2,000 pesos. That's about $116 times 4. That's 466. Damn, I think that's too much, but it's good to be safe and not getting surprised. Yeah, yeah, that's all he's doing because he knows he's going to be there. He's not leaving. It's not like vacation. He's staying. So it doesn't really matter because he knows he's going to use that sometime, anytime. So 2,000 pesos is yeah. It's under 60 again. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, 120. Yeah, 116. Yeah, that makes sense. But I think, yeah. And see that right there, 116 would last 5 times 20 is 100. Yeah, it wouldn't even last that won't even last a whole month in a 1 bedroom living there. I can't see it because I'd be running AC. There's no way I can let it. I can't even have just a fan on at 12, 2 o'clock in the day, 5 or 6 o'clock in the day. There's no way. Not in May, June, July, and August. I can't see that. So kudos to you if you can figure it out, or kudos to you if you have trees around your unit, because that would be helpful. Oh man, Joe Nay, no, I pay that much for the 2 bedroom. It's not that much. I just pay it to keep the kilowatts over 1,000. Yep, that's a good recommendation. That's for sure. At Joe Nay, that's funny. Take pictures of the panel and send them with your bill. That's funny. The first time is like that. You'll adjust after the first bill. Yep, exactly. You got that right. Eric, I met some gentlemen that live in Vistacana. They told me that they are not allowed to put up solar panels. Matt. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. See, this is what I'm saying. So EV place was saying solar panels, but I had a feeling there's going to be a lot of places that say, sorry, gentlemen, not allowed. Probably because they have a deal with SEPA. I'm just saying. Joe name. Matter of fact, they stated that they did not know this until they started installation. Oh man, wow! You have to get approval. He didn't go down and get approval. It's no joke when your electricity goes off at 2 a.m. Oh, you ain't lying, man. 2 a.m. during this, starting this time of year, anytime after April on, you do not want your thing to go out anytime in the middle of the night. Unless, of course, you can add it online, which I'm still curious about. Let us know how you do it online. Can you do online payments? You were saying you do online. I want to hear about that because that's what I would use if I could do it. It's no joke when your electricity goes off at 2 a.m. You ain't lying, man. Post-retirement travel. My family in Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic have those, and they have them at full blast from 2 p.m. until 7 a.m. the next morning. Their electric bill is very little. Okay. You want to know what's funny? So now, post-retirement travel in the DR, or first, so everybody understands where to get these from. Give me the name of what you're talking about, because I'm looking here, single zone mini splits. So they are talking about these splits. They're talking about, it's almost like outside, the ones outside versus the ones that are inside, but these split units come with a paneling and other things. So it makes it very interesting. But give me the name of the splits if you can, because I got Mitsubishi, Blue Ridge, Pioneer. They all have different Sears. We got Mr. Cool. There's one that's $4,000. Give me because this says single zone mini split, so I don't even know what single zone means. Other than like in DR, I think those are single zones because it only goes to one room. So I don't know what this means, mini split air condition, mini split. Does that mean multiple splits, meaning they can run off of the condenser and then run to multiple rooms instead of having to have a separate condenser for each one? And I don't know if condenser is using the right word, but that's what I call them. Yeah, I see mini split wall, Wi-Fi ductless mini. I see mini splits, so they're using the term mini splits, but it always shows the one thing in the unit, and it says ductless mini split air conditioner, $730 with heat pump. Okay, that's interesting. Heat pump. Okay. So those are what I didn't know they were called splits. Okay, Energy Star mini split air conditioners, $1,200 to $4,300. But it looks the same. Yes, I'm referring to the splits. Oh, I should mention post-retirement travel. We're referring to the places that have the unit in each room, which are most of the cheaper properties. I'll give you a perfect example. At the Galaxy where you're buying, they're probably not using these. They're probably using central heat and air. And I don't even want to know what that electric bill is going to cost, because no matter which room you're in, you have to cut on your AC. So it's going to be for the whole place, whether you shut off the little uh, area where you can have the spouts, you shut them down with the grills, whether you shut the grill down or not, the AC is running through the whole house because you have central air. That I don't know what's going to cost. I've never had a place. I never stayed in a place that had central heat and air because I always stay in cheap places. Let's put it. I mean, I'm going to stay in a 1-bedroom condo that was built in the last 3 years or 4 years in Bavaro. That's where I'm going to stay at. I'll just say it like it is. So yeah, central heat and air. I don't know how much that's going to cost. I think it's going to cost more. That's what I think. So yeah, the split, and we're talking splits here. We're not talking about central heat and air. We're talking about splits. So now I see the terminology because I see it. Mini split air conditioner, they're showing me what it is. They're showing me a condenser with 2 of the modules for 2 rooms. So that's what they're calling Energy Star mini split air conditioners, $1,200 to $4,300. But if I'm going to live in DR, I already made up my mind. If I was building and when I was going to develop something, I already had in my mind, I was using the splits regardless, because it's not right that if you do central air, that means, again, I'm using maximum power, even though there's only 1 room being used or 2 rooms being used. And in the case of the splits, if I'm not in the living room, I just shut off the living room because I'm going to be in the bedroom. And so you give people the opportunity. If you have a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom, then you shut off the ACs if nobody's going to be in the bedroom. So you never are running it. So you get to run 1 or 2 because you're not going to be in both places. Well, there could be 2 or 3 people in both places, but you're going to run those 2. That's the only rooms that's getting cold. Your bathroom, unless you leave the window open, is generally not going to get any of that cool air pretty much unless you leave it open before you go in there, but it's going to heat up pretty fast, which is another thing. All right. When it's warm out and it's not January, February, or March. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Okay, that's crazy. Is there like a dashboard you can check on your phone to gauge how low your electric account is? Yeah, well, that's what I was talking about. You can go to SEPN. If I didn't have to use my phone, I would have went there and showed you. Let me see, SEPN. Yeah, all you need is the account number. You can check your neighbors. You can check anybody's bill in the DR under SEPN as long as you have the account number. SEPN. Let me see what their website. I haven't, in fact, because I know I need it, I have SEPN on my phone. And I just automatically have it to the page that tells me how much it is. Because all I got to do is enter the account number and it tells you this is how much it is or how much you have left. And there's a somewhat of an estimation, if I recall. Yeah, it's SEPN. Oh, I was right. SEPN, CEPM.com.do. That is SEPN. That's their website. Okay. That is it. But anyhow, you can check the balance as long as you know the residential electricity, equipment, energy. Let me see. Yeah, it's wild. Everybody that's out there, if you plan on, that's why if you're doing short-term rentals, you don't really care. But if you're doing living there, you better pay attention. They have prepaid plans and postpaid plans. But again, I'm doing short-term rentals. There's no reason for short-term rental person to have prepaid plans. Or shall I say postpaid plans is what I mean. Meaning, I guess that's probably where they bill you. I wouldn't do it. Okay, apparently there is a SEPN app, which I didn't know about. So next time I'm there, I'll download it. That's cool. But I still want to hear from Joe Nay. Can you make payments? You're saying you can make payments on your app or online. So I didn't have to go to the, to the machine to make payments. I didn't have to go to the exchange place to make payments. That's cool. All right. Yes, it's a graph with blue lines for every day. It appears I'm averaging 10 to 12 kilowatts a day, and that's because I have a pet. 10 to 12 kilowatts a day? Okay, so that means, doesn't that mean you're around $10 a day? I'm not mistaken. That has to be, or is that like 7? It might be $7 to $10, something like that. It might be around that because I don't think I use. Yeah, that might be about right. It might be about 7 to 10. So $200 a month, possibly. I don't know. He'll let us know. I just can't remember because again, I haven't been over there to look at my. If I have my phone with me, I can look it up. But I can't do it. I'm using my phone. All right, everybody. Once again, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. It's the economic slowdown. What does that mean? Opportunities galore is here for you. By the way, economic slowdown, you know what economic slowdown means? Let me give you guys another example. There's products. Okay, let's go retail. There's products that are ordered. There's products that is ordered by a retail shop where consumers come in to buy. The consumers do not come in to buy. So you guys may or may not know, oftentimes you need, if something that's not moving, you get rid of it. So you return it for a refund, a partial refund on the units not sold. The company gets those back. They don't have any other buyers because there's a slowdown. This opens up another opportunity for being in the merchandise business. A lot of merchandise will not find its way to store shelves. So now you have to find I call it black market, but it's not really a black market. It's legitimate. You have to find the companies that get merchandise and resell it. Here's what happens. What happens is, let's just say you have 10 dozen worth of a product. That's 120 units, 10 times 12, 120 units. The wholesale price, let's just say it's $10 for each one. Keep it simple. $1,200 worth of items wholesale. Retail wise, because of course you should be charging like $3,600. So it's $3,600 retail wise. Everybody pays that. It's a known product. So all of a sudden they say, we don't want this. Send it back. Give us a refund. Send half of it back. We're not selling. The wholesaler that gets it back now tries to off it to other retailers. The other retailers go, no, man, we don't need it. We're having a slowdown on the economy. If you now know where to go get these products that are returned, that now you don't have to pay $10 per, the manufacturer or the dealer or the broker says, come get it for $5 a piece, $4 a piece. They have to off it to make money. You're sitting there going, well, this is a perfect opportunity for me to make $10 per, and he's going to sell it to me for $4 or more, right? Because we were up to 3,600 for 120 pieces, right? All right. So that's the opportunity that comes along. A lot of you thought I was going to say some other stuff. I know, but that's an opportunity. That's like the garment district, right? Everybody's out there buying all this stuff, thinking it's all hot, buying it for ungodly amounts of money when really it's only worth pennies. And then once this stuff comes back, they ship it around, can't sell it, comes back. Then it's sitting there. They'd rather just give it to somebody for pennies than try to make sure it got sold elsewhere. That's how it works. A lot of people don't know there's an underground system in America that works like that because you really don't have a retail stores. Only people that generally would know this is retail stores or the supplier of the wholesalers. And that's why lots of opportunities in the off market is going to come up. There's going to be all kinds of things that people are going to be selling on Amazon, on social media platforms, on the street corner that you're going to see that was in a store and it's going to be cheap. So just keep that in mind. That's another opportunity. Land is an opportunity. Real estate is not it right now. Just letting you know. All you're going to be doing with real estate right now is looking for the fallout. You're going to be looking for people that's sitting there saying, I need to get rid of this because I need this money for something because I'm over leveraged and I don't want to lose what I over leveraged for. So now you're going to find yourself in a great opportunity for real estate, but only that. And only if you can make money from it do you want to tie yourself into the real estate game. That's the thing. The real estate game for short-term rentals, you can make money. But if you're trying to mess around and say, well, I'm going to hold this for retirement and just pay money and just chill out with it, you're wasting your time and money. Home prices will come down naturally. People are going to lose their jobs. A lot of people. So therefore, homes are going to be on the market here short, probably in about next 5, 6, 7 months. Homes will be out there. Already in Florida, homes are out there for sale and other places. What was the top places? The usual, the most populated. Florida, Texas, California, top places, right? Because they have more people, so they're going to have more foreclosures. All right. And land loss, home loss and things like that. So let's move along, shall we? I was told that instead of having a condenser for every inverter, you can run 2 inverters off of 1 condenser. Yes, I agree. That's what I saw when I was looking up those high efficiency splits. I see how they were doing it. I like it. That's great. I agree. That's how it should. I mean, you can do it. You can do it. I see where you can run. Yeah, I don't see why not. Doing up. Does it really know your upping the kilowatts through the inverter? That's the question. The question is, I don't know about this at all because I've never used those, never had a need. But does that mean by inverting it that it costs me more kilowatts per hour? Let's see. Sometimes they're called inverters. Yes, Pioneer is one of them. They have like General Electric splits. The unit consists of inside unit and the outside compressor. There we go. Compressor. There you go. Exactly. Yeah, that I understand. It's the stuff that I'm used to in the DR. Yes, Galaxy has central AC, but each room is controlled separately. So we can have the bedroom on and the living room off. Galaxy is adding the technology. In fact, Counter Rock Star is like that too. Well, that's good. Because man, I'm telling you right now, you got to make double check making sure they have that. I like hearing that because if you can't shut off the AC from running, and you know what I'm trying to say, you know, in America, we have AC and it runs to all rooms. In America, we don't shut off a room for the AC to come through. You can shut off your vents, but you can't shut off the compressor outside. You can't shut off your AC unit. It's still pumping into your house based on it's going to all 4 or 5 rooms. That's what I want to know. How do you separate it? That's what I don't understand. Obviously, I'm not savvy with the technology in the DR for AC, but they obviously would need it because electricity is expensive. That's a need. So that's pretty cool. There's going to be all kind of opportunities, ladies and gentlemen, coming because we're in this serious. Hold on, I got to do something here. I'm just sitting here rambling because we always get sidetracked. I get sidetracked whenever somebody starts talking about real estate, especially in the DR. I really get sidetracked. Oh man, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of warm, it's getting warm out here in Cali. I hope this helps people out that are listening so they will not have to go through this electricity situation. Knowing is half the battle. Exactly, Joe Nay. That's why I had to bring it up since you're actually there. And we rarely get to talk about there. I always talked about the short-term side of it. But since you're actually there and living there, you know how serious it is. Because that's like throwing money out the window if you don't actually get your electricity in order. I have the SEPN app. Okay, so the SEPN app allows you to pay. Okay, that's cool. I'm going to download it next time I'm there. It won't let me download it in America. Or no, I'm outside the country anyhow. So let me see if I can download it after this live. And post-retirement travel says, and believe me, those splits will freeze you up even during summer. That is true. That's how cold their output is. Every time we go to PR or DR, we tell our family to turn the temp up because it gets too cold. They have it down. What do they have it under 8 at what at 20 Celsius? I mean, what are they doing? They're doing 18 Celsius or something? Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's funny. Let me see. That's funny, man. That's funny. 18 degrees, just so everybody knows, 18 degrees Celsius is 64.4 degrees Fahrenheit. And because you're in, generally, most of the time, you're in the block walls. And quite frankly, block walls, it keeps the cold air in briefly, as long as you're running the AC. You turn off the AC, and you'll find it's going to be hot within a few minutes if you cut off the AC in the middle of the day. It heats up fast. But by contrast, if you walk in, it could be 100 in the room. You can cut on the AC just at a 22, 21 Celsius, and it will cool down in like 2 minutes. No lie. That's what I love about brick construction, because the heat can dissipate rapidly. But at the same time, if you're in a hot area, it's almost like you're in a hot box. So that's why you need the AC in the DR. There's no way around it. Especially, like I said, May, June, July, August, you cannot have AC off. You can't have your electricity off by the city or the county. That's a no-go. So, and it happens, unfortunately. Yeah, I see what they're doing. They're putting you at that freeze-out zone because I can't even go down to 18. I can't. We keep it around 21, somewhere in that neighborhood, 21, 22. It's on the teeter. That's 69. So it teeters 21, which is in 22, 69, 70. Just like at home, right? 69 degrees. But that's on a central heat and air system. And speaking of that, for people in America who has central heat and air, you have to understand how this works. You know, when your AC, a lot of people do this crazy thing, just like they do their hot tubs. They go, okay, I'm gonna be gone for a large percentage of the day, maybe even overnight, and they'll sit there and they'll cut their AC down to, let's just say, 60. And then when they come back home, their house is up to like 85, 80 degrees, 75, whatever degrees. They go, oh, oh, I'm sorry, I went the wrong way for summer. They cut it up to like 75, 80 degrees. Okay? Cut your air conditioning thermostat. They put it on 80. So the AC won't come on until it gets to 80, right? They come back. It's sitting at 79, 80, so nothing happened. But you got to get it back to 69 or something so it's kind of comfortable, or that all of that 10 degrees for all the time that you left it off. In order for it to come back down, you're going to use a lot of energy to get down to 69. So the experts say leave it on 69, because the time it takes you to go back from 80 to 69, it's going to be on all this time. When if you just kept it steadily at that number, it'll fluctuate, but it'll always cut off. And so that is what the experts say. And so therefore, I'm just letting you guys know. The HVAC guys, that's what they say. Also, there's another thing. 3 degrees. 3 degrees matters. All right? So I'll go another route. It's cold. And again, you went away. You said, I don't want my heater to come on unless it gets down to 60 degrees. Again, the reason why I'm saying this is because when you go past 3 degrees, for a central AC unit, right? You go past 3 degrees, it works harder. So you're using more electricity. So you should not go past 3 degrees. Just letting you guys know. All right? Just saying. These are what the experts say. And I have to know this, right? Because like I said, I normally didn't have I didn't have 1,000 square foot homes or 1,200 square foot homes. Homes were 3,000, 4,000, and you trying to get it back up or down to 10. You know how much it's going to cost in electricity? It's pretty serious. So that's just little tidbits that I got to give you. My friends, I had the 3,000, 4,000 square foot house. And my friends would be like, man, my energy bill is like something crazy. And they'd be like, it was $400 or $500. And all my houses is like 2,000, 2,200 square feet. I don't know what the hell's going on. So then I would start talking to them and I'd say, hey, I'll tell you what's going on. You're probably you must be fluctuating, trying to do things like thinking that while you're gone, you'll shut it all the way down. And then when you get back, you'll cut it back to where you want it. I said, actually, that's not the best use of your electricity. And then I would say, yeah, my house is only like a couple $100 a month. And they're just like, ow, your house is like another 1,000 square foot than mine. I said, because you got to keep within 3 degrees. Don't try to go from whatever temperature over the 3 degrees. Let it get into a zone and then go back and look, or when it shuts off, then do another 3 degrees. But you can't do these big swings. And this is for everybody in America and around the world that uses central heating, right? Exactly. Because you're enclosed inside a box. It's like getting inside a fridge. That room will be freezing while the rest of the house hot as hell. Exactly. That's why I like the splits. Because on a central heat and air, the whole house is moving while you're just in the bedroom. That's always those things. I hate that. But I do love the splits. I do. I really love the splits. Jonay, I'm confused. Can someone explain how FL is pushing no property tax? That's not going to happen. They already have no state tax. How are they going to pay for state services like law enforcement, sewage? Look, Jonay, this is all rhetoric. It can't happen. That's you said the same thing I was saying. I said, why is he even talking crazy like this? You have already no state tax, unless he's going to change it to where there is a state tax now. But I don't know, man. The idea of property tax was to pay for law enforcement, firemen, city infrastructure work, city workers for the city hall, county, DMVs, all that has to come out of sales tax and property tax. And that's why property tax has risen in Florida and Texas, because they don't do high state taxes or any state taxes. So I think it's all rhetoric. I don't, that would be disaster. If it's not already expensive enough, it's still going to be a disaster because you're going to have to replace it with something. What are you going to do? Charge people 11% sales tax now? And now you have less people that's moving there and you have less tourists that's visiting there? That doesn't make much sense. That's not going to make much sense. So, yeah, that can't happen. It can't happen. Joke day. Maybe Florida found minerals in the Gulf of America. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. I guess, man. I don't know. Maybe they're like Saudi Arabia now. Found some oil, and I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe they're going to act like Saudi Arabia. Congratulations, all citizens. You get X amount of dollars or something. I don't know, man. I have no idea. It's not making any sense. The asylum people. I don't know. Somebody let economic fools out of the asylum. I don't know, man. It makes no sense. So they can keep pushing it. All I can say is, well, I have no intention of living in Florida. I did it one time, but I'm glad. It's funny how life works out, because that's a freaking disaster zone that they're creating over there for no reason. I don't understand what they're doing. The talk of that is ridiculous. The stuff they're doing is just ridiculous to me. Ridiculous. Knowing full well you're based on tourism, you're based on your production of fruits. Those are your things. And then you say, well, I think I'm going to get rid of migrants or scare them to leave, and I'm going to get rid of property taxes. If they did that, that's man, everybody's going to be moving, because they're not going to have any money for infrastructure. I mean, well, okay, maybe they'll do what they always do. They're going to get money from the federal government. I don't know. I just don't know, man. Don't even let me get started. That's crazy, man. Jonay always, gaslight me into this conversation. Yeah, I know what you mean, man. It makes no sense. We have to look out for this economic slowdown, and this is how you create economic slowdowns. You do nonsensical stuff. What he should have been working on is seeing how he can get insurance companies at the right prices to come back to the state of Florida, so his citizens who own homes there don't get wiped out when their home gets wiped out. That's what he needs to be working on. This nonsensical stuff they're doing is insane. That's their number one priority. Well, the way I look at it, the assessment. There's a couple, but number one is, I need insurance to cover homes. Because if the insurance companies continue to not cover homes, then more and more people will continue not to want to buy homes in Florida. This is crazy. The condo situation is crazy enough where the 20, the 5-year, the 30, 40-year plan is coming where they have to do the rehab for these old buildings. And now there's, $15,000 to a homeowner for their HOA fees, special assessments, and some in the 100,000s. There's even one that was 250,000 per owner. No owner is going to be paying this. This is crazy. We already know 70% of the population doesn't have $1,000 in their bank account. This includes older people as well. They may be house rich with equity, but they don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to spend just for special assessment. That's crazy. So you have all these people selling their condos that either now are coming up or have come up for this type of inspection, and these special assessments are going to be rolling in. And insurance companies are also a detriment to Florida. So that's what the governor should be concentrating on, is how he can give relief and get insurance. Because after you can't get insurance and you can't get relief for the condo situation, then people aren't buying. It's simple as that. You're going to have millions of condos for sale. People are going to walk away because they're going to have $200,000, $300,000 special assessments. They're not going to pay it. Take my stuff, take my house, take my condo. I'm leaving. Because really, when you get to $200,000, $300,000, you can actually go buy a place that's not 30 years old or 40 years old. Makes no sense. It's nonsensical. But he's too busy doing nonsensical stuff like this and messing around with books and yeesh. Nonsensical. All right, ladies and gentlemen. They maybe found them minerals. All right, we're going to wrap it up. We didn't get into too much of the conversation tonight about economic situations, but I tried to give a few. Please join us on Friday at 9-10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Economic slowdown means opportunities for you. All right, just keep that in mind. Now, one other thing. Let's see what we got to do. Here, I had to do a few other things. If you need your credit, you got to get it redone and make sure it's right. Okay? Go see Tracy this is an email, tracy@resolvefinance.com. Let her know Eric sent you SSN Nation, that you're a part of. Let her know all that. She'll take great care of you to get you back in order in 1.5 to 2 years, and you'll be back right. You don't have to file bankruptcy. There's ways that you can get your debt reduced and come out on the other side in 1 to 2 years. That's what you need. 1 year, 8 months. That's when you need to have everything in order, your credit. So that's how long it'll take you, then that's for the best. So get that done. The link is down below in the description box, so you can get her email address and check that out. And there's ways that you can improve your credit score. And there's a credit monitoring system called Smart Credit. All that can help you. All right? So don't let any of that. And EV Place started off the live stream with CVNY, Carvana, giving out this month, it appears it's going to be 6.6%. Unbelievable in just this 1 month from their dividends, because it looks like it's going to be $2.68 per share, and the share price is $40.47. Last month, it gave out the same. Well, dollar was less. It was 39 or 38 for the share. So that means it was 7% instead of 6.6 or 6.5. But the point is, in 1 month, ladies and gentlemen, 6% in 1 month? Hell yeah. I think a lot of people should take that and look at Carvana, but it's not Carvana. It's CVNY. YieldMax ETFs is using that You should check it out to do their option income trading along with other things. Go look it up. Go study. Do your due diligence. Will it work for you? Although I myself thought Carvana was maybe not a great stock. But if there's a lot of fluctuation and there's option income money to be made and they're giving out 7% per month, can you imagine at 6 months, 50% return? That's significant, ladies and gentlemen. That's very significant. Also, what's significant is PLTY every month. But now the share price is over $60. It was at $55. It has moved up more than 10, 20%. It was up to $64. I was like, what is going on? But all I do know is they're giving out like $2 a share. It's significant as well. So it's a nice little tidy sum. Even if it's 4 or 5%, that's very, very good for a month, per month. So if somebody says you can get 30, 40% return on your money, I'm not even going to get into the stratosphere of 60% because that's insane, but it exists. YoMax ETFs. So thank you, EV Place, for talking about Carvana today because that is awesome. Stock market, personal finance. We have it all. And that's what you're going to need when there's a slowdown. Think about a slowdown. Stock market is always going to be your friend. You got to be invested in that. So free stocks from Robinhood and Webull and all that will be down below in the description box. All right. Make sure that you go there and get those. I got to go pull these up myself right now and put them in I didn't even put them in yet. And if you're coming to the SSN Lifestyle Twinicana Investors Forum, May 13th, 14th, and 15th. You can get your tickets now, and we'll be there. And we're going to be coming over to Jardines, Joe Nate. That's got to be one of the stops, man. I want to see, do they have any models available over there at Jardines? That's what I want to know. Let me know. Let me know. Anyhow, I'll get in touch with these guys and find out what's going on, and we'll make it happen. But we're going to wrap this up tonight. My dad called me before the live stream. It's 2 hours. He said, don't call me at midnight. Okay, well, might be calling him around 11 to see what's happening. Because when he calls me and says he needs to talk to me, it must be something. So we're going to go find out about it and see what's happening. So we'll see how it goes. All right. Anything else you guys want to discuss, please let me know. But don't gaslight me with the Florida situation, man. The Florida man, he's out there on a whole nother cliff, too, not trying to help his citizens. He's just trying to do chaos and mayhem and ban books, make sure that whatever he perceives is something called DEI, trying to make a level playing field for everybody in your citizenry. No matter the color, no matter if a man or a woman, no matter if you're gay or straight and whatever. He's trying to mess with that, initiatives, trying to help women and minorities and anything. I mean, it's like, why are we wasting time with all this when things are crumbling? So you'd rather let things crumble instead of making sure all your citizens are together, which actually all citizens together is what makes everything better. That's how it works. Together, different minds, different ways of looking at something. That's how things get better together. And sometimes you have geniuses that come out of nowhere, and you just don't know where that genius is going to come from. So I don't understand why you're trying to act like only one way is the right way. That's never been the right way. You need other input. All right. Enough with that. I just got something. Tesla board thinking about replacing Elon. Okay, look, this is the craziest thing I've been saying. Why hasn't the board gotten rid of Elon Musk? I don't understand. This is really quite baffling. Really quite baffling. He should have been replaced but before the brand got hit even harder with negativity. They should have called him in the office and been like, hey, man, this negativity campaign you're doing, I don't understand what you're doing, calling people parasites, calling a certain half of the population like they're worthless. I'm like, what are you doing right now? Calling the guys who buy your EVs worthless, the enemy. I'm just like that. You could see this wasn't going to go well. But if this is true, I would only say it should have happened like 3 months ago. I don't know why they sat there and watched the carnage happen. This guy up here doing all this crazy and cutting off people, Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, trying to cut off people's U.S. aid that helps people around the world, not only United States citizens, but different countries, cutting that down. I mean, the damage that this guy has done while he's the richest dude on the planet, along with Bernal, and he's cutting off from the everyday people, you're not going to get any love for that. Damn sure ain't going to get no love from me. That's some bullshit. You're the richest dude on the planet, and you're worried about a woman who can't feed her kids, and you're going to make sure you cut them off. The person that needs health care, the kids that need their cancer done and research and hospital, you're going to cut that off. I mean, this dude lost his fucking mind. Excuse me. Sorry. I hate when this is one of the things that I hate about the wealthiest people. There's a lot that give and share because of the wealth cannot even be used in their lifetime. But then you have these other guys who they don't care about anything. Meanwhile, the only way that they are successful is that people had to buy their products. You had to have people. And those people were the people that are living paycheck to paycheck because they bought your vehicle. It was paycheck to paycheck because they bought your Starlink. I mean, all this, and he does this crazy stuff. And I'm sitting there like, this guy has enough money for about 1,000 lifetimes. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. But he's worrying about, I got to shut this off because the guy's getting the Social Security you're getting over here, man. It's too much. Oh, by the way, why are these kids getting Social Security? Maybe because one of their parents died or both. That's why maybe kids would be getting it. You're out of your depth here. I mean, this is just, I just can't. I just can't. Talking about DEI, good God. This guy, he gets in a position that he's not even trained for. Not an auditor, not an accountant, not even an engineer. I mean, this is freaking insane right now, what we got going on. But anyhow, enough. Jonay, I had to just put it out there about that because we talk about nonsensical stuff. This affects us. It affects you. The slowdown is happening because the rest of the world doesn't even want to deal with us. So they're intentionally not putting items on boats to ship here. They're not sending anything by air. They're limiting what can be transported into America, or they're just saying F you. So now America, since we don't do manufacturing, what's going to happen now? Where are we going to get it? Where are we going to get the items? So store shelves are going to be empty. If not already, in some instances, they already started. So this means prices have to go up when you have less of a supply, more of a demand, prices go up. A short squeeze, shall we say. Manufactured, because it did not have to happen. That's an opportunity for all of you entrepreneurs out there. And that's why an economic slowdown is opportunities galore. So keep your eyes and ears open because you never know what might do a little twist in your head. Like I have 2 things that came up in the last week that if I can twist this up, this would be another one of those $1 million paydays just by default. And I should know something by Monday if I can do one of them. Because then it's on, me versus the government. Once again, it's going to be on. They're going to be like, oh my God, we were caught slipping. That's that guy. We got to change laws to block this because we were slipping. We didn't see this coming. You know how much money he's making? That's what they're going to be saying. It's funny. So if I get my way, I'll be helping ordinary citizens That's what I always do. Ordinary citizens from the predatory big boys. I'm not joining them. I'm just going to beat their ass. And I hope I can do it, because this is what I'd more than love after I've been silent for about 20 years. It would be awesome to come back out of retirement to kick their ass again. So we'll see how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. But just keep in mind, I love you guys very much. Again, I hope I see a few of you in the next couple of weeks at the Punta Cana Investors Forum inside DR in Punta Cana. Make sure you stay in the Bavaro, El Cordacito, Los Corrales side if you want to stay there, because the beach is there, the bars, the restaurant, the casino, the nightclubs, all are right within walking distance. The beach, all 5 minutes or less walking. That's in the Los Corrales side, I would say. El Cordacito is a little different, but I'd recommend Los Corrales side. Either way works. All right. So we will get you into real estate investing, thinking about it. Opportunity has arisen. We're going to go check out one, but there's other opportunities as well that we're going to be checking out. That's day 2 usually. Day 3 is where if you've already got pre-approved for your banking, then you can go down and set that up for like the 15th of the month, usually if you can, or, somewhere like that. It'll be the 15th is the day people go to banks, and we'll go to banks. I'll be there to help you out occasionally. In this case, I will be there to help out people. So you're not feeling all alone, but get pre-approved right now. So contact me on WhatsApp or support@stopstrugglingnow.com, and we'll talk about it. But go sign up now. There's only one spot left for the $199 ticket, because after this spot gets filled, then it'll be $249 per person from that time on. So go over there at stopstrugglingnow.com or ssnlifestyle.com. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, but hey, there's no way you can turn back the hands of time. The cost of living is going to keep increasing, and it's everything. Your energy bills, your food, everything. Just a matter of how much. So that means you have to think about making additional streams of revenue. That's the only options you have. So that's what we talk about here. So I'll see you on Friday night. We'll talk about some other options and opportunities as well. But make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, please. And make sure you join me at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. And make sure you stay safe out here, because you never know what's going to happen. There's a lot of people that's under stress, duress, distress, economic problems in the house. You just never know what's going through somebody's mind and why that might just tweak them to go off in a bad direction, and you could be in the way. So just make sure you're courteous and kind to people so you have that good karma. And with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out. All right. Can't see if I'm out or not.